Hi everybody, this is Lynn with Prometheus Automotive, and today we're going to be replacing the starter on this 2018 Ford Ecosport. I'll put a list of the tools that you'll need for this job at the end of the video. I'm just going to lift up the front end of this car, so I'm going to put on the parking brake. I know that it works. I tested it yesterday, so the rear wheels won't move and the car won't move when I lift it up. Okay, under the hood, we're going to disconnect this negative battery cable right there. It's 10 millimeter. You always want to disconnect the battery whenever you, especially when you do a starter or an alternator, because those are high current and you will get some sparks if you touch the positive to the ground, which is the entire engine, and the body is all grounded. So be careful with that. Okay, these caps come on new batteries on the post, so I just saved a couple to put on there just to make sure this doesn't come back into contact. You know, it's easy for that to happen, so just to be safe, put that cap on there. Here's the part number for the new starter that goes on this car. It's a good idea to block the rear wheels whenever you lift the front of a car, just to make sure that it doesn't move anywhere. And then always use jack stands and not a jack, because you don't want to be injured by a car falling on you. This is the control that sends the start signal to the starter. That's the small wire. New starters usually come with new nuts, but I'm gonna not throw that away until I'm sure that the new one has one. 13 millimeter for the main power. Alright, for this one, this foil filter's in the way, so a long, deep socket won't fit. So you can either use a shorter socket or a wrench like this. It's really on there. I needed two hands to break this one loose, and you do want to be careful not to take your time with this nut, because Ford, I got the Ford part and they did not include a new nut, so you don't want to damage or lose this one, because we're gonna have to reuse it. So just take your time, use a good fitting wrench or a socket, 6-point preferably, so that you don't round this nut off and you can reuse it. For these two studs that hold the starter to the engine transmission, where they mate together, use a 13 millimeter socket deep well with a short extension to have enough clearance. And then one up above, I can't really see it, but you can feel it with your fingers if you put your hands up there. It's right back there. This is the one that's hidden. That's about where you need to have your socket lined up. You can feel that back there with your fingers. And once it's loose, you can turn it with your fingers to get it loose. Alright, let's put this new starter in. Just want to line it up on these studs here. Get those nuts started. And we'll tighten that down with another 13 socket. That's the 10mm one for the control signal. All right. Once we got those 4 fasteners, the 10mm control signal, 13mm main power supply to the starter, and the 2 bolts that attach it to the engine, I'm gonna reconnect this negative battery cable, and let's see if it starts. Mission accomplished. We got that starter replaced. Car starts.